You're listening to Stenner Production Spin Charts. And now for this week's featured artist.
Thanks for tuning in. We just heard Letter to the Government from Stenner. On the phone with me, I got Joe Brady. How you doing, Joe?
Great. How about you?
I'm doing good. I'm glad to that I come across your music. It's really good. I mean, you got some great hooks in there, and it's well structured. And we chatted a few minutes before this interview, and you mentioned that you guys have been around for quite a while.
Yeah. We originally got together. Well, Junie, who's the guitar player for the band, we got together around 1979. We were both playing in some other, with some other lineups in the mid-'70s. Just, we were really into things like David Bowie and Alice Cooper, or some of the early punk stuff like Iggy and early Ramones and everything. So, we got together and formed this band, which within about a year we called Stenner.
Where'd the name come from?
The band?
Yeah, the name Stenner. Where did it come from?
Oh, the name Stenner came. I read in a magazine called Fangoria that came out back then. I guess they're still in publication. That this new movie was coming out in 1981. It was going to be called Scanners. And it featured these scenes of people's heads being blown up by some kind of waves of telepathy coming into their minds. And I started imagining that as the effects of hearing our music would be blowing people's minds up. So I thought, Stenner would be a great name for a band.
I see. That's very interesting. I remember that movie.
Yeah. And back then it was a new thing. I don't think things like that had been seen on film so vividly the way it was when that movie came out. So yeah, that was perfect for us.
Oh boy. On Letter to the Government, what's the letter about?
Well, it's about general discontentment with the way things have been going, at least since I've been voting, which, I'm an old guy, so I've been voting since 1978, and I just noticed over the years nothing's really changed. No matter what party is in, people think, I'm going to vote Republican or Democrat or whatever is out there, and nothing really changes. And you start getting this feeling, and a lot of people are picking up on it, that everything's owned by special interests and corporations, and that's pretty much what. And then this is just about writing a letter to the government saying, "Hey, I'm on to your game, and I know what's going on." And we sarcastically say, "Well, thank you, government. Thank you for your drones. Thank you for burying us alive," and things like that. So you hear those lyrics in the song, and that's pretty much. It's a sarcastic letter.
I get it. Yeah, it's pretty obvious with all the YouTube videos out there. There's tons of videos with exposing this, exposing that. It's so open nowadays. And
it's not as easily covered up as it used to be, and the people are pretty wise to it anymore. But it's such a machine, and it's so embedded. And all across the planet, that you have this feeling there's not much you can do about it. There's these huge. Some of the conspiracy people think there's a huge shadow organization that kind of runs everything anyway.
Yeah,
and you kind of believe it looking around and seeing what's going on.
They have a saying in church, and they say, "Your sin will find you out sooner or later."
Well, yeah, that would be interesting to see. I'm hoping I'm around to see it happen. I'm around to see some people fall.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, man. Sometimes I get caught up in those videos, and I'll be watching them, and it gets intense, and it's one after another, and it's like, oh my goodness. And then you got Illuminati, then you got the elite, you got the Masons, and you got Skull and Bones, and it's just one right after the other.
Right, and each group, when you listen to what they're saying, you start to buy into it, and then you have to be careful because everybody's cherry-picking facts, too, so you have to really think for yourself. And you can listen to all sides of arguments, but ultimately it has to be you making up your mind what's the truth, and it usually lies in between all the cherry-picked, quote-unquote, facts that you hear.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we all have to be careful with that.
Very true. Very true. We do have Just Like Bella coming up, and a little bit on Just Like Bella. What is that about?
Well, that's a song about Bela Lugosi. We're all horror movie fans, vintage horror movie fans in the band. We grew up as what we like to call ourselves as monster kids in the 60s and 70s. And we were into, all the old monster movies, and we were all into riding motorcycles, hot rods, the Big Daddy Roth kind of hot rods and things like that. So, Bela Lugosi was this central figure, and you read about him all the time. His movies were on TV, and those were the old moldy oldie spooky movies. And then with the Ed Wood movie that came out in the 90s, it featured Bela. There's a lot of pulls in the song, in the lyrics from some of the speeches that Bela gave in some of the Ed Wood movies, so that'll be recognizable. So that's sort of a salute to Bela, a salute to those old monster movies that we used to watch.
That's very good. That makes me want to go back on YouTube and look up his name and start watching some stuff now. See what you did to me?
Well, if you want a lot of atmosphere, some of the movies don't hold up story-wise, and they're not as sophisticated as some of the acting these days, but they still have that atmosphere, and you can get drawn into them and really have a great time.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I do miss the way movies used to be. The anticipation. There's so many movies that come out now, and back then, there would be an anticipation on movies, and now there's just tons of them that come out.
Oh yeah, they come out and they have everything thrown into them, but the kitchen sink. Effects. Constant little quippy one-liners constantly through the movie. Like back in when movies like even in the '80s, when movies like Aliens had. And The Thing came out. You waited for these juicy one-liners, and the characters were memorable. But now they caught on to that. And they think you have to have that constantly throughout a movie. So yeah, it's changed now.
Yeah, it's changed a bit. It sure has. Well, Joe, it's been good. I'm past the 5-minute mark, but that's all right. It's an interesting conversation. So we'll just we'll go with that. And we're going to play Just Like Bella by Stenner. Stay tuned for Just Like Bella.
Right now, you are listening to Stenner.
The world wants to put me away. Master, one day I
Want to win tickets? Want to win prizes? Keep listening. Stenner Production Spin Chart.